As you know, P-car holding a gram net. I think it's pretty cool. Something to, I don't know, keep the boredom at a minimum. I'm going to do a bit of a shed walk around and show you what's going on in mine. Hope you're all sort of having a good lockdown. If you're lucky enough like me, you got a project on, you can keep busy, get stuck into it. I'm still working from home most of the time, but yeah, no, it's good. So yeah, I'm in my shed now. Let's have a quick look. There's not too much going on. Yeah, some basics. You know, so I got a linisher, a drill press, pipe bender. That's been obviously really handy for the tube work. I'm doing my cage with it, but I also did the subframe, whatnot. Actually, there's the original subframe from a Nissan Skyline. I cut that thing up. Took 240mm out of the guts, then welded it back up. Ordering some deep dish wheels first, setting them up where I wanted them on my car, on the guards, and then basically measuring between them. Worked out real good. I know I use that just to make a jig off. A bit of a parts sort of store. But, bandsaw, that's real handy. Recently sort of tidied everything up and some good storage going on. I like trying to keep my shed reasonably tidy. This is honestly a bit messy for me right now. This is a record of my car build. Anything I research and do, and I've got hard copies of. There's some design approvals. Keep all my receipts and everything. Honestly, some of my best research is, and this is not an advert, but P-car magazines. When you're looking for ideas, man, you just go and look back through all the old issues. There's good ideas for anything you're doing, cages, subframes, all that sort of stuff. B-Rad, shout out to him. Mad Mike, all his cars are in there, inspirational. Yeah, no, it's handy as. Courier diffs I'm not running anymore. If anyone's keen, hit me up. One's an LSD. TIG welder. Let me show you. This is my urinal. Dirty old, the diff I pulled out of it, like an 808 or RX or like a 323 diff. If anyone wants that, hit me up. Like I said, I'd like to try and keep it tidy, but look at this. This is my messy end. Believe it or not, there's a jet boat under there. Jet boat project that I'm building. See it? You can kind of tell. Yep. MIG welder. Just your usual, you know, jacks and cranes and engine stands. Here's the jig for my tubular subframe that I made for the rear end. So yeah, the car, this is probably way more interesting. It's starting to sort of take a bit of shape. I'm quite happy with how it's turning out. Rear end's like kind of cool. On the race look, that's always sort of the look that I was going for. Bit of a, I don't know, it's definitely still going to be a street car. I'm doing heaps of work on trying to keep it road legal with all these mods. The Radium fuel cell recently received, that's like awesome fuel cell, mainly because of the FCST fuel cell surge tank. So it's all built into here. It's got the surge tank, it's got lift pumps and supply pumps, so it's pretty sweet setup. On here, I've always sort of wanted something like this. To have this in a street car be real cool. I'm yet to really see how the LVVTA react to that. Submission's just going in now for it, and we'll see how we get on. A bit of roll cage setup going in there. Had to get that in early, obviously, just to set this up. This is only mocked up, by the way, so not the actual final finished product. I guess if we get like under there, some of the tubular subframe, which turned out quite cool. Aftermarket take-on arms. So I'm not really like an RB guy or anything. You can see the rolled chassis there. So what made me go to the chassis, like a custom chassis, was the start. I was starting to try to, when I got into sort of fitting all gearbox and everything like that, it sort of dawned on me that it's easier to build a chassis than retrofit. Well, maybe not easier. You're going to get a better result in the end. Way more work, to be honest. Probably not easier. I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, I think it's going to be worth it in the end. I'm kind of stalled a little bit on the process, on the whole project, because it was originally approved. I had it ready to go with the cert process because the changes are actually reasonably big in terms of structural. I had to go back and have it reapproved, or those changes reapproved. So I've done a big proposal to them. Here's hoping that will easily sort of go through. Some of the changes, like the about, see, I want to cut, it's quite a big C-notch out of the main chassis rail there. I want to do that to pass exhaust through. So the exhaust is going to be on this side of the rail, this blue rail here, and then pass through here. And then also want to take a notch out of here somewhere on the sill and run a like a NASCAR style exhaust or whatever. I think it'd be pretty cool, something different. So again, the cage is going in a bit early. I'm kind of trying to find things to do to keep the project rolling. So getting some cage in. I've lightly tacked it in, but I can't really go much further than that. Certainly can't weld it in because I'll never get it back out to put floor in and bits and pieces. The seats look kind of cool in there. I just wanted to mock them up again for something to do. I've always had one in there just to work out, you know, my seating position and steering wheel position, all that, based on pretty much it's all driven by where that's mounted first, the pedal box. And then, yeah, we worked that out and then we put our seat where it feels good, and this comes in next, and I've got so it's a Woodward steering column. It's real cool sort of stuff. Ladder to get in, not because I'm midgety, but because, oh well, it's 4 feet off the ground. Good, so I built all that like a jig or a dolly, just to hold the car up at a good height and be able to wheel it around the shed as I need to, if need to. The other change I made, so the original application to the LVVTA for a certified car was not including this suspension setup. So they're quite interested in that. Obviously, they have something to say about it, because you can't just go and slap a 15 or 20-year-old later model front suspension in a car. They kind of don't like that. Well, they don't mind if it's done right, but they need to know that it's done right. So what do we got? S13 mentioned BC Gold shocks, coilovers, just sort of good enough for track and street. Might look at something else later, but factory S13 hubs, GK Tech front arms. To make it all work, it fitted not too bad, obviously pretty good at the top. The geometry is pretty sweet. I did have to make a new front suspension cross member there, you can see. Being adjustable makes it a bit easier too. The engine there mounted off the sump plate. Obviously I had to add cast around here. Not a lot's gone on here really. I want to get everything else sorted, chassis and all that confirmed, that I can go that way and get everything sorted before I go too far up here. 20B PP, it'll be NA. Built by PPRE, they'll build that. This is just a mock-up engine. I do want to make complete sort of strut tops myself, so I'll cut these off here somewhere, get rid of all that, make two-way adjustable so I can just camber and caster separately, not sort of have to rotate it and then sacrifice one a little bit for the other. I want to make complete two-way adjuster. Here's my old cert, it's only got a few things on there. Quite like the shape on the guards. It's got a bit more, like there's definitely some flare going on there. It's all metal, part of the bodywork. It's sort of something that differentiates mine from, you know, a standard looking RX-3 shell. The rear's got it as well, you can see there. It's kind of cool. It came with it when I bought it. This thing here is like it's an HGT 6-speed sequential shifted gearbox. It's got the overdrive in 6th. Heltec computer will allow for the throttle blip, fuel cup shift, so it's like the crown jewel of my project really. This thing is just going to make the car. So yeah, can't wait to start ripping with that. So yeah, the seats are Racetech 4009, real comfortable seat. Sat in a few of them in mate's car. Totally stoked with how they feel. Nice high sides on them, keep you snug. Trimmed in, or they call it stealth trim. It's all black, and I got a little bit of a custom width going on here, so it's slightly narrow on the outside wing on each seat, so just to allow for a bit of a better fit, and so I can have a decent amount of room for what I might need for a tunnel in the centre. So that's probably most of the project at the moment, just while I'm waiting on this second build design approval. The rear rims are 14 by 10s, can't remember the offset, it's pretty, or 35 mil or something, with 225 40 Toyota Proxys T1Rs. bit of stretch on them, won't be road legal, but I'll sort something else for the road. Front, haven't worked them out yet. Again, no point in sort of doing that until I've had it all approved. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video of my build progress to date for this bloody car. Might get around to posting up the odd video here and there. Probably won't be as long and boring as this one. So yeah, until then, see you all.